What's up guys, it's Roger and welcome back to the channel, and today I'll be showing you how to use your blink in Trials of Osiris on, well, we gotta take a pause right there because the thing is Bungie decided to put on their mad scientist hats and do a little experiment like they always love to do, and boy, those usually piss me off, and this one is basically no different. You see, we don't just have one map this week. Oh no, that's not enough for Bungie. We have to have three. Those are Endless Vale, Convergence, and Distant Shore. Now, I'm fine with most of those maps individually. Endless Vale is one of my favorite Trials maps, although we did just have it 2 weeks ago or something like that. Convergence, we had pretty recently as well, and I like Convergence, but I know that's a pretty controversial map. And then lastly, that's Distant Shore. Distant Shore smells like shit, and I wish I never had to play it because I want to put a railroad spike through my head every time I play around on that map. And, you know, if you were playing this season, you know that Distant Shore has had some very annoying weekends. One of the worst weekends of this season of Trials was on Distant Shore. And then the weekend after that, Bungie said, well, this was so bad, let's try it with cap points. Now, Distant Shore with cap points is a little better, but it's still just a pain in the butt. And, you know, it's interesting, you know, they want to do this. We have 3 rotating maps, you can get any of them randomly, and maybe there's an idea deep in there somewhere, and I mean deep, that could be fun. Maybe 2 maps I could be fine with, but 3 I think is a little too much. In my opinion, because what I like and what I think is kind of the point of Trials is every week you get to test yourself on one map, and loading into that map, you know what it is every single time. So you can build craft and make a build around that one map with your class, you know, with your subclass and your abilities, with your weapons, with your mods, whatever you want, and you build it specifically for that map. You make a strategy specifically for that map each weekend, and that's what I enjoy doing. So when there's 3 maps all at once, I can't really do that because I'm not going to change my guns every time I get a different map, and you know, it is what it is. You tell me what you think. What are your thoughts? Do you like having 3 maps at once? Do you think we should just have 1? I don't know. I don't really like it, but hey, Bungie be Bungieing, you know, and we're almost out of the season anyway, so, you know, thank Clarence we are getting 3 weeks off from Trials because that's going to be some nice rested time that I think I've earned after all these months. But all that out of the way, why don't we go ahead and hop into what we are using today. So, a couple of weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, when we had Warmhaven Trials, I said to you guys, which of these exotic hand cannons should I use? I gave you a choice of Ace of Spades, Thorn, Sunshot, or Hawkmoon. You guys voted and you said Sunshot, but second closest was Ace of Spades. So I used Ace of Spades the other day in a video, and I was having a lot of fun with it, so I decided this is the weapon we are going to use this week in Trials. First of all, for our intrinsic trait here, we have Memento Mori. Reloading after a kill loads magazine with a few extra damage bullets. That's 6 bullets to be exact. Grants radar while aiming down sights, which is a beautiful perk to have, and once you start getting used to that, it's really, really useful, I'll tell you that much. We have Firefly here. Precision kills with this weapon make people go boom boom. We love to see that. And if you have the Catalyst and you have a Memento Mori active, then that boom boom from the Firefly will be even better and more destructive. And there's nothing quite as satisfying in this game as making your enemies explode, watching their entrails fly across the lands. We love to see that. Not to mention, I have the drip going on. You can see I have this ornament right here. This is a Trials ornament. If you didn't know, I have this red glow on my Trials ornament because I have this emblem on right here. This Trials emblem, you can see if I take this off, my gear and my Ace of Spades goes back to gold, but when you put this on, it all turns red. And there's other versions, you can get like a blue version, but I really, really like this. And so I got the drip on right here. You can see, ooh, I'm looking real nice and drippy, but hey, we got more build to talk about, so let's not get caught up. Went saucy this week and I put on the Cartesian coordinate. I was like, not really feeling the shotguns when I first loaded in today, so I slapped on this bad boy because I've been loving fusion rifles lately, and I do not regret it one bit. I have been slaying out with this fusion rifle, and you'll see I get some pretty saucy plays today. On this roll here, we have little under pressure and high impact reserves. This is my god roll. I absolutely love this thing. Particle repeater, red dot. Every time I say I have a god roll on something, I'm mostly just saying it because it's the roll that I like. It's my god roll in specific, just to be clear, because I'm going to say this is a god roll, and then I'm going to get like 15 little freaks in the comments that are like, Roger, you only have a 3 out of 5 roll there actually, because Particle Repeater needs to go suck its own. I don't care, okay? I don't care, Frederick. I don't need your low-down, dirty, you know, files you got stored up on the Cartesian coordinate. I like this roll, I'm a happy camper, and I'm going to call it a god roll. Finishing off our weapons, we do have a Half-Truth's Eager Edge Sword. We love that, but I don't think I have any plays with that today just because I wasn't really going for heavy. And here are our mods. On our helmet, I have a hand cannon targeting. On the gloves, we have hand cannon dexterity and a taking charge. Next on here, we have 2 unflinching hand cannon aims, so you can see just a lot of stuff to help out the hand cannon here, because you only have 50 stability on the Ace of Spades, which is not as much as I prefer, and there's no Eye of the Storm or anything, so I do like to get as much unflinching as I can from the mods. On the boots here, we got a little shotgun holster, which I forgot to change. That should be a fusion rifle holster, but just imagine that it is. And then down here, we have some utility kickstarts. If you didn't know, utility kickstart is amazing. Put your bond to stasis, or whatever your, class item maybe. Put it to stasis. Use utility kickstart when you use your class ability fully. It just helps you get a lot of energy back really quickly, so you can always have your rift up. Speaking of our rift, we should talk about our abilities, so let's go ahead and hop into our Void 3.0. Linking over here to our Void 3.0, we should start with our usual supers. Now this week I do have Cataclysm on. You should be using Vortex, but either of these is fine. From what I know, a Nova Bomb Vortex will 100% kill people inside of their bubble, but if you have a Cataclysm on, it will kill the bubble, but it doesn't necessarily kill the people inside of the bubble as well, so that's kind of why you want to go Vortex over Cataclysm. But honestly, I'm just not very good with Vortex Nova Bombs, to be honest with you. I kind of wanted the tracking, and these ones are much more fun, so I slapped that on for a little while. Healing Rift, Blink, Pocket Singularity, and then I have Scatter Nades on. Love Scatter Nades. It's the only nade here that can easily just one-shot really, really quickly. And when I don't have a shotgun on, I like to use Scatter Nades, kind of a pseudo shotgun, so that is the point of these. For our aspects, we have Feed the Void, so we can have Devour. That gives us 2 fragment slots. And then Child of the Old Gods, or as we know him around here, Clarence. Clarence also gives us 2 fragment slots, so we love to see that. Now that we have 4 fragment slots, why don't we talk about what fragments we are going to use? Starting off here, we have Echo of Dilation. While crouched, you sneak faster and gain enhanced radar resolution. Plus 10 mobility and plus 10 intellect, we love the raw stats. But when we're crouched and we get that enhanced radar resolution, we absolutely love that. Any top tier player is really going to take advantage of that and see exactly by crouching how many enemies are on your radar, and that is really going to help you, especially if you're an aggressive player like myself, know exactly when you can use your blink to get aggressive, and I'll talk about that a little bit more later on in the gameplay. After that, we have Echo of Persistence. Void buffs apply to you, so Invisibility, Overshield, and Devour have increased duration, minus 10 recovery, so make sure you have some extra recovery mods so you can make sure your recover is staying at 100. Now that's going to make our Devour and our Overshield go from 10 seconds to 15 seconds. I don't know how much of a time boost it gives on the Invisibility, but either way, a boost is a boost. We love to have it. Next I have Echo of Exchange, Melee Final Blows, grant grenade energy. I just want to make sure I always have those scatter nades up, so that's why I love this right here, because you do get a good amount of melee final blows on this subclass, especially when you play aggressive like I'm going to show you. You get this proccing quite a bit. And last but not least, we have Echo of Expulsion, so Void ability final blows will make the targets explode, plus 10 intellect again. You cannot go wrong with those raw stats. And when you can just get more booms, you love to see it. You can get easy 2 or 3 pieces just because you get a good scatter nade in there and you blow someone up real good. So that is the build. We are about ready to hop into this gameplay, but before we do that, just a couple of things. We have the Blink Enthusiasts here. We're at 61 members. We are growing so insanely fast. If you want to join, feel free to go to the Destiny 2 mobile app or Bungie.net and you can freely join. It is set to open. I'd love to have you. Whether you're a Blink Warlock or a soon-to-be Blink Hunter, it doesn't matter. Hey, even if you're just a Titan who bashes his little cran-eating head into the wall all day, I'd love to see you join. And last but not least, we are almost at 2K subs. We are so close, just about to round the corner and hit it. So if you want to join and make my day, I would really, really appreciate it. But if you just want to watch the video and enjoy, that's completely fine with me too. All that covered though, I think we are ready to get into this. So why don't we go ahead and hop into it. Now, if you've been watching this series for a while, then you know that usually, whenever I do these, I like to really break down my strategy for each map, but usually we only have 1 map at a time and not 3, so I'm going to do it a little differently this week. And also there's the fact that come this Tuesday, when we get the new season, we're going to have Blink on Hunters as well. It's going to be Arc, so the entire landscape of Blink is about to change. So today I really just want to talk about how to think and play like a Blink master, because that's all what we all want to achieve, right? We want to be as good with Blink as possible. At least if you're here watching this, then I assume that's what you're going for. And a big part of that is being good with your Blink in trials, which again, I do these videos every Saturday. I come out with one of these and I love going over my plays, and you can see here, even just talking about right now, I go up and I take an aerial shot on that guy, and you can see hit it right on the head very easily, because the first thing you need to know, Blink is pretty damn good in air. Now, a big part of that is your Astro Sight Burst gives you plus 30 to your in-air accuracy, which I don't know what Blink's going to look like in a few days in terms of having to use your Astro Sight, because it's going to get buffed, and Hunters aren't even going to have it, so what are we going to see? I don't quite know, but keep that in mind when you're learning about your in-air accuracy with your Blink, that if you have the Astro Sight on, it's going to be really good. You can see there I'm taking some taps on that guy, get my memento mori charged up, and I'm looking at my radar immediately, seeing where I can go. I blink across the entrance to Shrine there, or Altar, whatever it's called, where I'm looking into the left there, to make sure I don't get seen by those guys, and that's one of the biggest things about your blink. When you're using your blink, what you need to constantly be thinking is, where can I use this advantageously? Right here, I use my blink to get really fast in a lane, throw a scatter nade, take my shots, and take out 2 of them immediately. You can see the second guy actually died to my explosion, from my fragment of expulsion, and I just fragged the last guy out with a nice just blink behind him, catch up, take him out. And that's the best part about blink in general. Your blink is the fastest movement ability in this game. It's faster than anybody. Icarus dashing around and doing their little float skating and all this stuff that these people have. Your blink will beat that. Even if it's just by a fraction, it will beat that most of the time. So what you're thinking of with your blink is, how can I get places first, and how can I get places safely? You can see right there, again, I get to hit this part in this veil. I get to the middle of the map first every single time, which allows me to always throw my nade down lane and then take shots before the enemy's even there. I throw out my melee there and I blink over to the side here. Why am I blinking to the side? Why did I blink a second time? I blinked a second time so I could get down to the ground faster. Also, I was falling from a pretty high angle. If you're falling from very high up, you're going to get kind of staggered when you hit the ground. So make sure you use a second blink if you need to, if you're too high up, so you can stop yourself from getting that recoil flinch when you hit the ground and just immediately catch, and keep fighting. I blinked behind this guy, and I honestly thought he was going to go to Cubby, so I was looking there, but he was as confused as I was for a second because he didn't even know I blinked behind him. That's the next part of your blink, is getting behind people, getting around them to unexpected angles. You can see this week I decided to go for this fusion rifle. Now, if you've been watching, or you've seen my Blink Shotgun Masterclass, then you know that biggest thing with these aggressive playstyles is making sure you blink into a distance that is beneficial for you when you're attacking the enemy. You can see I blink right into this distance from this guy. Where he was on his Titan shield and where I saw him on that radar there was exactly a good range for my fusion rifle to kill. If I was using a shotgun, I probably would have blinked a little closer to him, but you can see he pushed up, and since I blinked at that perfect distance, that gave me enough time to take him out with my fusion rifle extremely easily. Right there, I take that guy out with some nice shots. He was floating around with Jotun the entire match, so weird guy. Flick over to this guy, take him out, and I just reloading my Memento Mori shots just so I can see where this last one is and chase him down, corral him into my teammates, and they take him out. But again, I'm just using my blink because I know how fast I am with my blink to get behind these enemies. Get to the positions you know where your enemies are going to go. You can chase them into your teammates. You can chase them into places that are more advantageous for you. You can kill them and then take their positioning if they had the better positioning, because your blink is going to allow you to reposition extremely quickly. In times like those in the mid right here, I do want to say, when I get those kills, you can see I do like to let them go for the red sometimes because, hey, that just means I get another free kill, and we love to see that. I blink into this guy, and again, I'm staying in a good fusion rifle range. I didn't want to blink any farther than that because if I did and he rotated to where he did right there, then I would have been in hot water. So you need to make sure with your blink, you're keeping yourself in a perfect range. I blinked forward onto this guy because I knew I wanted to shoot my melee at him first. Now, of course, on Void Warlock, we have that perfect pocket singularity, which can push people back, which is really, really good when you're blink fusion rifling because you can push them back and immediately take a really good fusion rifle aim onto them, and that's just something you really need to be looking to doing. Right there, I used my blink so I could go up and across that entire mid lane. I didn't show my hitbox in that mid lane for a second because I chose to blink across it and not show at all. I threw a nice scatter nade, did enough damage to easily tap the first guy, got my Memento Mori, and smacked that second guy into the bottom of the sea. And that's what I'm saying. Right there. I love to blink on the B site here. Take that guy out really quick, put my rift down, grab Clarence so I can have some extra lockdown with him, and I'm just watching my mini map, my radar, whatever you want to call it. I slide in, I start taking shots, and unfortunately that last one didn't connect. I thought it did connect, so I started reloading to get my Memento Mori, but didn't quite connect. But hey, that's just how it goes sometimes. But I had some good shots and was able to clean them up anyways. Now, again, I'm just trying to really get it through to you how to use your blink if you want to be on the path to really be mastering your blink. A lot of it is learning the distances that your blink is going to go and using those distances perfectly when you're going to engage onto an enemy. I'm never going to blink right on top of somebody where I'm actually touching them with my fusion rifle if I can help it, because sometimes you can't help it and you do get in those ranges you don't necessarily want to be in. But as long as I can help it, I'm going to stay at least 3 to 4 meters away, if not a little more, probably like 6 to 7 meters. Sometimes the meters kind of confuse me in this game. They're just all over the place because I need to stay in a range where they can't just destroy me if they have a shotgun, but I can use my fusion rifle very, very well. Again, watching our radar here, we're sliding in, and this is something to be careful of. I'm in a place with very low roofs. I know I can't use my blink when I'm in the dark cave there, but I can use my blink perfectly right here. Smack the first guy, fly across, smack the second guy, take them both out, and I'm looking at my radar. I see this last guy on radar, so I throw up my scatter nade, I take aim with the fusion rifle, and I take him out. Fusion rifle is absolutely beautiful. Gotta love it. But again, you're using your blink to close distance. You need to get on top of your enemies, and that is what is so beautiful about blink. The two best parts about blink are closing distances and rotating. You're going to rotate extremely fast, and you're going to get on your enemies extremely fast. That's what we love to see. Smack that guy real quick with the ace of spades, get my memento mori, and absolutely smack this guy's head off. You'll love to see it. It's always some fun stuff when you get that memento mori procking. And I was having a bunch of fun with the ace of spades. If you haven't pulled out the ace of spades in a while, definitely recommend doing that. Now here's a time when I blinked really fast, and you can see I got to set up so long here on cube before the enemy even showed up to a place that they could fight me. And as soon as they did, I was already so set up that I got a beautiful scatter nade like that, proc my devour, flew in, shot my melee, auto locks on, and just take him out as well. And that's what I'm saying. You are going to get where you're going faster than anybody else because you have your blink. You can see the enemy just got to the lane right there and shot me when I was basically already where heavy spawns. That is what is so beautiful. You want to use that, get in quick, and then set up. Because when you're there first, you get the choice of where you want to play and making your enemies play around you. That is what is so beautiful, and that's what we're looking to do. Again, blinking into mid here, going towards bridge, because I know that these guys at this point in the match, this was 2 rounds in, I know they like to play around waterfall, so I set up a rift here. Be careful when you're peeking off this bridge, because I will say that's a very tight angle. If you have a pulse rifle or a scout rifle, be careful of peeking that, because your zoom might kind of screw with you. A hand cannon, though, that's perfect range for a hand cannon, and you could see that as I smacked that first one out. Take my fusion rifle in here. Don't really hit my shots too well. He's a little far, but again, that scatter nade is basically a makeshift shotgun, and you can just blow someone's bussy out the top of the roof. Again, a nice scatter nade there, slide in, put my rift down, and I'm already doing stuff, throwing abilities, taking shots before the enemy is even knowing what's hitting them. And that's what's so beautiful. Next up is the surprise factor. This guy probably didn't expect a Blink Warlock to just fly up through Waterfall, go to an unexpected angle above him, and then take the shot with the fusion rifle. You can see I whiffed some shots there, but hey, we all whiff sometimes, right? I think I whiff on the second guy for a second too before I adjust my aim and actually clonk him in the forehead right there. But, you know, take your time, readjust your shots. You'll be fine. Now, blinking in this next clip, we're coming over here. I like to play around here a lot, especially since I had a hand cannon. When I play in this Vale, I usually almost always have a pulse rifle, but this week I went with the hand cannon and I was very happy I did it. And playing around Shrine here is a very, very good thing to do if you want to use these hand cannons. And you can see, this clip is just perfect for showing off how good the ace is, and I'm just tapping these guys' booty cheeks off their bodies, and it was just a beautiful little time. Went in with the fusion rifle here, again, keeping my distance as much as I can, but unfortunately I did get a little close to this guy. I thought he was going to try to kind of peek me slowly, but he did, you know, crazy solar warlock things and like dashed around and all this crazy stuff, but luckily my teammate cleaned it up very well. So again, going over here, see this guy on my radar, turn around, blink into a good distance on him, slide in, and I'm taking hand cannon shots. Tap him twice, reload, get my memento mori, and I'm looking for the next one. He's weakened by clearance, so what I want to do is get an angle. Now this is something you guys want to know a lot about, using your melee. Right there is a perfect choice to use your melee. That melee shot him into the wall, and also shot him backwards a little bit because the angle it hit him at. That's what you're looking to do with your pocket singularity, is push people to an angle that they don't really know where they're going, but you need to be ready to know where they're going. You need to start understanding how the momentum works. And since he was standing completely still, where the pocket singularity was hitting him from, I knew it was going to push him straight back, and I was going to have some perfect shots to take onto him. Again, we have a great angle here with the ace of spades, looking towards waterfall. I had to slap down a rift, take out my fusion rifle, and that is a great range right there. Second guy comes up, we sauce on him really quick. He had a really nice nade there, and unfortunately this guy kind of screws me over. And see what happened here is I actually want to talk about, I was stuck in the smoke a little bit, but also I got really tunnel vision thinking he was still back there, and he snuck down there while my gun was in the way because my gun was so big, and he actually got that res. And you gotta be careful of that stuff. But you can see here, another thing blink is so good for, blink up right here, put myself to the ground faster. You can use places with low roofs to blink. You just need to use them to bump your head into the roof really quick and get to the ground, usually doing a tiny bit with a forward momentum. When you're in a situation like this, you're always trying to take as many 1v1s as possible. Take a 1v1 and then you're in a 1v2, take another 1v1 and then you're in a 1v1, and then maybe you can win the round. You can see there, I actually blinked to the side. There's some good architecture on that part of the map. I consider going and watching my Blink map guide series because I'll show you on this map, there's some good parts where I just was, where you can blink up pretty easily and get through those higher ceilings, but there are some lower parts of the ceiling too, so you need to be careful. This was so unfortunate. I actually got really screwed over with my blink there because it hit the bridge, and I was like, oh, are you kidding me? It barely tapped the bridge, and I ruined my fusion rifle burst, and it was just so unfortunate. But before that, I was kind of screwing those guys up. This is some clip I wanted to show because I just wanted to show you, get damage out, you know? When you have teammates you can kind of count on, like I did here, these guys were pretty dang good, and I knew all I had to do was just get some damage out. Again, here's that airborne effectiveness stat. I was very high up in the air, took my fusion rifle, and just mapped that guy. If you're ever having trouble and you're in the air, you want to hit some fusion rifle shots, make sure you're leading your shot a good bit, as in you pull it down farther than you think you need to pull it down, because your bolts are going to go out, have the tiniest bit of travel time, so just try to pull them down a little more than you think you might need to. Map that guy even in his little hunter dodge. He thought he was going to roll like a roly-poly, but I didn't quite let him do that. Again, blinking straight onto that wall and making sure that I blink and stay on that wall, because that was the perfect range to shoot him with my fusion rifle. Unfortunately, he was a Loreley Splinter Titan, so didn't quite get him, but hey, it happens. Tap this guy real good with the teammates, and I'm just looking to get the next one, but unfortunately I had to drop down because that nade was on my booty cheeks, and I was not trying to get them fried up. So I go back, take some shots with this guy, and I was kind of pre-firing a little bit. If you know they want to keep facing you, you can take some pre-fires and flick onto them just like that, take them out, grab your Memento Mori, and go and take some shots onto the last guy. And I was just waiting for my teammates down here because I was like, we gotta kill this guy. Now, you can kind of blink into cave where this guy is, and I try to do that here, but I kind of hit the top. If you want to blink into cave, make sure you're kind of blinking last second, and you can kind of fly in there a little bit, but it's very, very specific. You might also want to pull your head down. That will change your hitbox a little bit, so always making sure when you're going into those very low places, if you want to blink in there, pull your head down, and that'll change your hitbox just a little bit. It's not a huge amount, but it is enough that it makes a difference, and it can get you through some very, hard to fit spaces, so just keep that in mind. Now, coming into this next clip, I'm just going around taking these guys out. You can see they have 3 bubbles, so that's always fun. And I saw somebody was on bridge. Now, again, this is a perfect place to face off with your hand cannons. It's a great range, and it's really what you're looking for when you want to take these fights behind waterfall or whatnot, because if they're any farther than bridge, you're going to start experiencing damage fall off, and that can be very dangerous for you. Hit that guy in the head once. Clearance did not go out. I was a little bit sad about that, but that was okay. I threw in my pocket singularity, pushed him back, and made him volatile. So now I have him volatile. My teammate's dead, and I'm just looking to get any picks that I can. Shoot this guy twice with 2 taps. Unfortunately, he didn't die, but I knew it was time to go in with my fusion rifle. Blink into a good position for myself. You can see I blinked into a place that had some cover from my left, because that last guy you see, he did kill me, but I knew if I wanted a chance, I had to kill the other 2 while they were on my clearance. So that's why I went for that aggressive play, and then I was going to turn on the last one, right after that, but unfortunately he did really well to get up on me. But always try and make sure you're blinking into places that have some extra cover. Saw this guy coming on my radar to my right, so I flicked over to him, got my Memento Mori procced one more time, and took some nice shots on this guy, took them all out. You can see when you get that Ace of Spades going, it is some crispy, saucy stuff right there. I love flying into this position. This is a really good place to hold with a hand cannon, because if you're holding any farther than this, then usually it's not going to be very good for you just because of the damage fall off. And if your teammates help you team shot, you can get some beautiful stuff going. You can see even right there, that guy tapped me, took me out, and I was pretty annoyed by that, but it was like, hey, what are you going to do? The point of this round that I want to show you is I did my job. I helped. I did damage to the guy on B. I got a good scatter nade in the cave, and that helped my teammates with me doing just enough damage to take the enemy out. Now you can see there when I crouched, when I landed there, that was because if you blink 3 times, remember this, if you use all 3 of your blinks and you try to slide, you cannot slide. There's a bug in the game where if you try to slide after blinking 3 times, it's glitched out. You cannot slide. So keep that in mind if you ever use all 3 of your blinks, that you will not be sliding after you come out of that 3rd one. But hey, maybe now that blink is going to be on hunters and Bungie actually, gives a rat's butt about hunters, hey, maybe we'll get a little, maybe we'll get some bug fixes. Maybe, I don't know. Wishful thinking, right? Taking these guys out in cave here, just taking some nice shots, have my Memento Mori proc, throwing a nade there just to cut him off in case he wanted to go for that res, and then I'm going in, taking some shots at this guy, seeing where we can catch them here. Now again, your blink isn't going to be very useful when you're in this area, so you need to have some good gun skill as well. I knew I could flick over and tap onto that guy, take him out, get my Memento Mori, and take some nice taps onto this guy. It's really bright out there, and I'm in like a dark part of the map, and the lighting is not good in this game, so that was kind of hard to see, but I was able to see him enough to take him out right there. If someone's behind a shield like this, just burst it twice. Because literally, you can do enough damage to just like knock their pussy cheeks off to the next dimension. This guy actually stuck me at the Wither Horde, so I made sure that I got my ghost ready in a good spot, because I knew I was going to die. So I just made sure I got my ghost behind that wall so my teammates could res me, and they did res me, and we won that round, but it just took a little while, so that's why I didn't show it to you. Dodge that shield there, I'm just seeing what I can do. Now, you don't have to only use your blink all the time. You don't need to be thinking about where's my next blink, where's my next blink. Use it when you need it. You can see I'm not taking any crazy blinks right here because I don't need them yet. And if you are just willy-nilly using your blinks, you're gonna run out of them sometimes and you might screw yourself over. So make sure you're being kind of frugal with your blinks, Make sure you're using them at a point in time that you're not just gonna screw yourself over and be out of blinks when you need them most. I kind of kamikaze myself right there because I knew I was going to die anyway, so I just threw the scatter nade on the ground and let that guy walk into it, and it was pretty funny. Coming in this next play, though, taking some nice shots at that guy. I'm looking towards mid because I saw them on the radar, and I decided I need to push up now. My teammates picked, and I need to equal this up if I can. Hit the Lordly Splendors with 2 taps, get my Memento Mori procced, and now I really need to see if I can hold this res. Again, I'm not using any crazy blinks here because I don't need to. If I wanted to, I could blink over these tree branches in front of me and get a really aggressive push on this guy with my fusion rifle, but why should I? I use a blink here for a very specific reason. That reason is I'm getting bullets straight up in my bussy and I don't want to fucking die. So I blink towards him, change my hitbox. He doesn't have the greatest aim, so he can't stay on top of me. My teammates tell me team shot right as I land. I take out my fusion rifle because you gotta remember, you get max handling on whatever weapon you're taking out when you come out of a blink if you have your Astrocyte burst on. Gotta love the Astrocyte. And then you can just absolutely map them. So remember, using your blinks sparingly and using them smart. It's not about, ooh, I have blink, let me use my blink, let me go, 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 go. It's about, when do I use this to be the most successful? And that is what you're looking to do. And as soon as you start looking at your blink that way and knowing that I need to use my blink to reposition, to get across these sight lines that I don't want to get shot from, and to get on top of my enemy so that I can be successful, that is when you are really going to take your blink play to the next level. So this is my last play for the day, so thank you guys so much for watching. If you watched this far, like I'm saying, I do these videos every Saturday, and I have a video every day of the week. I'm always on Blink, and once the Hunter comes out, I will definitely be making a Blink Hunter and using it myself. So if you're interested in learning Blink, whether it's going to be on the new Hunter, or you want to try out some Void Warlock before the Blink Hunter comes out, whatever it may be, subscribe and just stay tuned because I am always giving out the best information I can to help you guys be the best Blink players that you can be, and hopefully one day you yourself can also be a Blink master, because hey, it is the best and the most fun way to play the game. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it as always. If you want to leave me a like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can see more in the future, I would really appreciate it. And that is it for me today. So have a great day, Guardians.